To begin, you are going to safely raise and support your 991.2 along with removing the front under trays. Please follow the link provided at the end of this video if you need additional assistance with any of those tasks. There are a lot of things attached to the wheel carrier, including the tie rod green arrow, the lower air deflector that will need to be removed to give you access to the lower control arm red arrow. Use an 18mm wrench to undo the top nut of the ball joint. If it spins, use a T40 torque in the stud to keep it from turning, red arrow. Use a ball joint separator and separate the tie rod from the wheel carrier. With the tie rod separated, you can now remove the air deflector. If you have not damaged the rubber boot, you can simply reinstall the tie rod when you are done. Just make sure not to change the length of the rod while working. If you replace the rod, you will need to get your alignment done. Release the two clips, red arrow, from behind and remove the air deflector from the diagonal arm. Now we need to get the brakes off the carrier. Remove the wheel speed sensor attached to the wheel carrier. Begin by using a 10mm socket to remove the screw, red arrow, holding the electrical cable. Remove the 5mm Allen screw, red arrow, holding the wheel speed sensor and pull it up and out of the wheel carrier. You will need to disconnect the wear sensor from the electrical line. To access this electrical connector, red arrow, rotate the electrical connector and slide it out of its mount. Release the electrical connector by using a flathead screwdriver and rotating to release the clip, red arrow. With the wear sensor disconnected and the wires loosened, remove the two T55 torque caliper mounting bolts, red arrows. Always replace these bolts. They are considered single use only. Once the caliper can be removed from the rotor, you will need to handle it carefully as to not stress or damage the brake line. Never let the caliper hang by the brake line. Hang the caliper safely up and out of the way. You can now remove the two locating screws, red arrows, holding the rotor to the flange. There's a good chance these screws will be stuck if this is the first time they are being removed. Use an impact screwdriver to help break them loose. Use care, as once these are removed the rotor is free. Now remove the rotor from the wheel flange. Use a 10mm socket and remove the three screws holding the dust shield to the carrier, red arrows. Use a 10mm socket and remove the bracket that holds the brake line and speed sensors and move it out of the way, red arrow. Turn the carrier to give you better access to the connection where the lower control arm ball joint, red arrow, connects to the lower wheel carrier. Use a T40 torque to keep the stud from turning and remove the nut with an 18mm wrench. Use a ball joint separator to separate the control arm from the carrier. Use an 18mm wrench and remove the nut holding the drop link to the top of the carrier. Do not remove the link yet. Having separated the lower ball joint, red arrow, now the only thing holding the carrier in place is the stud on the drop link, green arrow. Use a 16 and 18mm wrench and loosen the lower control arm where it mounts to the subframe, red arrows. This will allow the control arm to swing down and out of the way. With the control arm down and out of the way, red arrow, you can support the weight of the carrier and remove the upper drop link stud, green arrow. Once you do this, the carrier is free and you can lower it off of the shock. Congratulations, you've now removed the wheel carrier. Installation is the reverse of removal. Torque the lower control arm ball joint to wheel carrier to 75 Nm or 56 foot-pounds, and torque the drop link mount to 75 Nm or 56 foot-pounds as well. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and check out another video in this series.